Hello, everyone, and I want to say good evening to you. I want to do something a little different today and make a video. And given that this Sunday is Mother's Day, I wanted to just really focus on something that speaks about the love and admiration of a mother. And it's in Luke chapter 2, starting in verse 41 through 52, New Living Translation. And it says, Jesus speaks with the teachers. Every year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. When Jesus was 12 years old, he attended the festival as usual. After the celebration was over, they started home to Nazareth, but Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. His parents didn't miss him at first because they assumed he was among the other travelers. They traveled in big families, big groups. But when he didn't show up that evening, they started looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they couldn't find him, they went back to Jerusalem to search for him there. 3 days later, they finally discovered him in the temple, sitting among the religious teachers, listening to them and asking questions. All who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. His teachers didn't know what to think. Son, his mother said to him, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been frantic, searching for you everywhere. But why did you need to search? He asked. Didn't you know that I must be in my father's house? But they didn't understand what he meant. Then he returned to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. And his mother stored all these things in her heart. Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and all the people. That is a beautiful passage of scripture. We all know the story where Jesus was left behind in the temple, but he was completely at peace and comfortable with where he was because with his father's home. But, of course, any parent would have been frantic in that situation. So I can completely understand and relate to, how they were feeling with that. But the part that I really want to focus on, it says that in verse uh, 51, then he returned to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them, and his mother stored all these things in her heart. Given that this is Mother's Day, it's even more special for me because I lost my mom back in 1995. So what I do have of my mother is beautiful memories. And one of the memories that always sticks out to me was um, my mom. She was really involved in church, and so every year the church would have these programs, and she would always make sure that I was a part of that program. And the thing that she would always have me do was read a poem. And I can remember her spending the time just practicing with me. She'd she'd write the poem down, and she'd have me stand in front of her, and she'd sit and she'd be my audience. And I would read the poem, and we would go over the poem and go over until I memorized it. And I remember the feeling that I got when I would be saying the poem, and she'd be my biggest fan. She'd cheer and everything. And so when it was time for the actual reading of the poem to take place in the church, I remember she would always say, okay, you can do it. Just get up there and do your best. Do like how we practice. All right, you got this. So I remember just going up there, and I'd have this sense of just complete, total peace and confidence. I wasn't nervous or anything because I knew that my mom was in the audience, and that she'd be so proud of me. And when I get up there, man, I just stand there, and I get a quick glance at her, and I see her just smiling at me and just having just joy and happiness. And so when I saw that, man, I'd get up there and I'd knock it out of the park. And when I come back, she'd hug me and she'd kiss me and say, good job. That those memories will forever stick with me. Those memories will forever be with me because my mom, that I knew that she was my biggest fan and she was my inspiration. And more important than that, she believed in me. And so I want to just encourage all mothers today that your children, it means so much to them to know that you are their biggest fan. And even more importantly than that, that they appreciate you. They love you. You are a vital part to your children's life. I mean, what my mom passed away in 1995, but those memories will forever, forever, forever be with me. The memories of when I would tell her like the little secret things. Say, for example, I remember one time she found a "I like you" note in my book bag at school. And man, when she found it and she showed me, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm dead. But we we talked about it, and she said that okay, that's our little secret. And I remember, man, that establishing a level of trust in my mom that was just amazing, and it flowed over even into my adult years. I remember just us sitting down on the kitchen table, and I'm a young man, and I'm just talking to her about things that I was experiencing and things that I was going through, and I could just count on her just giving, if it wasn't but one word, but it was words of love, it was words of trust, it was words that I could count on to know that mom always had my best interest. So I want to say happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there, all mothers in the prayer ministry, and know that you are loved. What you say and just how you encourage your children is valuable. It's priceless. It's pearls that they will forever, forever take with them. So I love you guys, and have a wonderful evening and have a happy Mother's Day.